So I've been dealing with cover art issues. So as you can see, this was the original one I had. I printed this out a while ago, but you can see the right here, it's supposed to be at the bottom. It's cheap paper and it's not as vibrant. While this one is a newer one I did. The spine is in the perfect location. It's more brighter and it's on high quality photo paper. So I'm gonna give you a little tips in case you wanna do your own cover arts, what I learned so far. First thing you want to do is find a website that has a lot of the cover art that you need. As you see, I'm using the cover project, and it has not all the cover arts, but it has a lot of cover arts, even some custom cover arts. So let's say we click on this, right? It gives you the cover art, the spine, and the back. That's what you want, unless you want to piece it together by yourself, which is a little more technical, but I like it, and it gives you the correct dimensions. Plus, there also is a section that actually gives you the dimensions almost every case, just in case you have to resize it. So there's a couple programs you can use. This is the Undercover XP. It's supposed to print everything like together, like at the correct size. I haven't had much success with this, but the good thing is, in case you have to piece the cover art together, you can put the front and the back here and print both, and then we'll merge them together. But like I said, I haven't really had real trouble with this one. So this one I would not recommend, especially if you're just starting out. I would recommend using GIMP. GIMP is like a free photo editing software. And you can see I have Red Dead Redemption right here because mine needs to be replaced. And as you can see, mine's is kind of, looks like crap. So this allows you to do editing and stuff. It's a free software. So then what you do to verify the size, you'll go to Images, Print Size, and it will give you the exact dimensions of what is going to be printed. So you see 10 inches width, 6 inches height, and then you can reference that to the Blu-ray disc, and as you can see, maybe a little bit bigger, but that's fine, and it's pretty much on point. The next thing is use legal gloss print paper. Don't use letter, because letter is too small and dimensions, and sometimes it won't fit. You have to do a lot of shrinking. I realize legal printing paper, I have no issues with it. So always make sure get legal. Don't use letter. Once you know this is good, hit OK. Then you go over to print. And then there's a couple of changes you have to make here. Okay, right now it says portrait. Change that to landscape. Go down to more settings and change the paper to legal. Once you know that's legal and everything else is good, hit OK. I like to verify to make sure it's on legal. Make sure it's still on landscape. That's very important. Color. Then you hit print. And then everything goes right. Here you go. I always like giving it like a couple seconds for it to kind of dry. As you can see, it's not cut off and it should be the perfect size. But if you want to check to make sure it's the perfect size, I always like to take another PS4 cover art, smash it again just to see the size. And right now, I'm doing it in one hand, but the size is great. So the next thing up is how you want to cut this out. Now, I recommend one of those guillotine style cutters to make the edges really smooth. But if you don't have one of those, then regular scissors are fine for this. For best results, I always recommend getting a scissor sharpener. You want to at least make the scissors as sharp as possible so you get a nice clean cut. And as you can see, I cut it out. Yes, there's still a little bit of a white border, but I like it like that. I guess it looks a little more generic. But if you want to get the white border completely off, I suggest using a razor and a ruler and to really get it like really tight to the art. But now, put it back in the case to see if it fits. Like a glove, you see it fits perfectly. Looks a lot better than that one. Almost look real. Like I said, the key is make sure you use legal printing paper, legal paper. Whether you want printer paper or photo paper, make sure it's legal size. Also change your printer settings to match that so the printer knows what paper is printed on, so it can change the margins. And I highly recommend using GIMP. Definitely really helps, as well as that website Cover Art Project. And yes, now usually some people say you should add reproduction label on here and stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I personally ain't going to do that because I have no intention of really selling my stuff. And if I do sell my stuff, I would inform the person that this is a repro cover art and adjust the price accordingly. But yeah, this is a little tip on how to get a reproduction cover art in case yours is damaged. Later.